Are you looking for a place to have your quality printing done in Uyo? Look no further than Planeyo Publishers for your quality direct imaging printing. Our services include graphic design, photocopy, color photocopy, typing and printing, lamination, flex and poster, book publishing, wedding and burial programs, ID card printing, passport printing, photo enlargement. You can also make your gifts more valuable when you brand them. Let's brand your gift items and souvenirs. Visit Planeyo Publishers at number 2 Eka Street off Ikodekpene Road, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, or call 0802 7898 705 002 789 8705. Planeyo Publishers, publishing the dream works.
Thank you so very much. Welcome back to Planeyo Book Circle. This is the 10th edition of Planeyo Book Circle, and we have just spoken with our first guest, Dr. Clifford Stephen, who spoke to us about his 2 books published recently by Planeyo Publishers. The books are Do You Understand What You're Reading and The 21st Century Preacher. He has also shared his experiences with us on his life on works, his scholarly interests, and has shared tips on how to better the church in the 21st century. Coming up next, we will be joining with Dr. Jasper Eberendu, who will speak to us on his work, The Withered Flower, and we will try to connect with him so that we can talk to him. Dr. Jasper Eberendu is currently in the United Kingdom, and will be joining us from there. He is the author of The Withered Flowers of Said. The Withered Flower is a novelette, has an interesting story he will tell us about. So shortly, we will connect with him.
Can you hear me?
Hello, Dr. Jasper Eberendu. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Yeah.
Please, could you turn on your video? Is it possible you could turn on your video? Thank you.
Is it not on?
Okay, you're on now. You're on now. It's good to see your face after a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's good to see your face after a long time. How's the UK?
Fine.
Yeah. So where are you based in the UK? Where are you based in the UK?
Okay, in London.
London. Okay, that's good enough. So how is London today?
Fine. Quite sunny, and it's okay. We're enjoying the moment.
It reminds me that this is.
We're enjoying the weather right now.
Yeah, it reminds me that this is summer. It's always bright in July.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. So when did you arrive the UK? When did you arrive the UK? I hope we will have no network glitches. When did you get to the UK?
It's been a while, like over a year now.
Okay, so how has the experience
It's
been?
over a year now.
How's the experience been like?
So far, so good, trying to understand the system and speaking properly. and you know be more productive. But okay, it's been so far so good.
Yeah, so what exactly are you doing in the UK right now? What's your work or career role?
I'm teaching.
Okay.
I'm in the education system.
Okay, so what do you teach?
Okay, I PE and I also teach health and social care. So then I relate the PSC exams and that. Plus, I'm within the education sector, so it's a couple of things. The education system.
Okay, I would like you to, you know, the migration issue now. Many people are leaving the country and finding better places where they could survive. I'd like you to take us through, from your own experience, what conditions do you think made you to leave Nigeria, and what do you think could be those things that could be done to stem the start of people wanting to leave to foreign lands in order to get a better living, given the consequences of or the impacts of that living on the nation at large?
Okay. First of all, I must tell you that Nigeria is a great country.
Yeah.
We are just the devil and leaders. And how long it takes to be, how long it takes to be a developed country, because that nobody will want to deal with the country. If the country can, the leaders of the country can, invest in infrastructures, like let me say, create jobs, meaningful jobs. Because when you create jobs like building industries and all that, either you think in the private sector, people get to see what people get jobs. When people get jobs, they're engaged and they are not in a hurry to leave. One of the reasons why people leave this country is underemployment and unemployment. Some persons are underemployed and they know their accident. So people go out to where their qualifications will be well applied. People have to where their values should be, or their qualifications should be better valued, more valued, and they feel more useful, and they get well paid for it. Okay. So what is the country? Because our government can look into creating jobs, infrastructure, constant power supply, skill acquisition programs, not as a campaign strategy, like, to be honest with you, like, yeah, because when my voice is echoing, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm hearing myself.
I can hear you. Go on.
Okay, so if we can become more productive as a country, and even if we are not exporting more, but at least I think let's produce what we use as a country. It will boost our currency, the value of our money, our currency, and yes, and what happens is the exchange rate, like the gap between dollar and naira, will shrink.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that is saving people within the country is the gap between exchange rate, naira and dollar. The gap is wide. So people feel like, okay, if I go out there and get the money, you know, automatically you're a millionaire in naira. So, but if the gap is huge, it becomes unattractive for people to travel out. Because they'll be like, what's the difference? The difference is normal. You understand?
Yeah.
So Nigeria should work on the value of our currency and no, I don't know how we do it. I don't know how we do it, but we can have great leaders. We can have great leaders in Nigeria. Believe me, nobody will want to leave the country. And the people that have left will come back.
Yeah, that's true. About the some people have left because they said there was insecurity. How about that one? Have you factored that into your discussion?
It is still part of leadership. Let me tell you something. Nigeria, we have a very strong military. Nigeria is a great country, like I said earlier. There is no insurgency in Nigeria that can stand for 24 hours in Nigeria unless the government works.
Yeah.
Okay. Nigeria military is very strong. Nigeria police, Nigeria military, armed forces, police, all of them, they are very strong. They are very effective. You understand?
Yeah.
But the thing is, anything that extends beyond 24 hours, any insurgency that extends beyond 24 hours, there is some complications there. Yeah.
You're right.
So, Planeyo, I was thinking I would be talking about Digital Flower, my novel. I don't know why you're taking me through this.
So please let us talk about. You'll be talking because we love to hear your experiences, and we'll talk about your novel shortly, but just a little patience, please. Because you are an expert, you know a lot around your field. You like to learn a few things about you. So, first of all, take us back to your time in Nigeria, your education there. What did you study, and what kind of work did you do before you move into the United Kingdom?
Okay. While in Nigeria, I had my first degree in at the University of Nigeria. I did my health education. Then my second degree was at the University of Harvard. I did occupational health and safety. Then my third degree was also at the University of Harvard. I did occupational health and safety education. Then I was a teacher at therapy school, State. I was teaching PE in that 10th of 5 years there before I decided to relocate to the UK. So, but all along, I've always been a teacher, I've always been a teacher, teaching PE, sciences. I also taught at the University of Rio, at the Institute of Health and Safety, and Security, and I was among the pioneer lecturers who started that program under the leadership of late Professor Dr. Planeyo. So I was there at the together with Pegasus, teaching and lecturing at this time. Before I decided to move to the UK.
Okay, so I know that we were together at Pegasus. Would you like to tell us about your time there at Pegasus and if you compare the kind of education there to the UK system, because they appear similar?
So, Pegasus is a public school. You know, public is a Council of British International Schools. Pegasus is a member of public, okay? The public school, and to be honest with you, Pegasus is living up to standard. When I mean standard, I mean UK standard. It's a great school, believe me, it's a great school. So, you know, when you don't, the academic standard is up now, it has been so well, you know, in terms of quality of service, they're doing so well. Believe me. Yeah. The students are doing great. Believe me, they're doing very well. They may not be perfect in terms of remuneration, but believe me, in terms of the standard of the school, it's so good. If they can just look into the remuneration of, you know, the workforce staff, just look into it a little. Believe me, nobody working in the Pegasus will want to leave. Because that school is a great school. I'm in London, and I've been to plus or minus 6 to 7 schools in London. You know, kind of doing one thing or the other. So I can tell you that Pegasus is doing very well. The only difference here is that here, even here, the teachers are also complaining for higher fees. Even here.
Yeah, that's true.
Teachers are also complaining for higher fees.
That's true.
Yeah, even here, they are saying the pay they're getting is not enough. Understand? So it's everywhere, people will keep asking for higher pay, but then, I would say, considering the fact that Nigerian economy is in the best shape, so I would say that Pegasus should look into the workforce. Because here, even if you compare of higher pay, the economy is good. Okay? With one of earning, you can still live a decent life, like you can still make a decent living. So, well, that's it anyway.
Yeah. So, would you like to say hi to some of your colleagues who are still in Pegasus right now? Listening to you.
Sorry, what did you say?
Would you like to say hi to some of your colleagues who are still in Pegasus now, listening to you?
Are they here? Are they there?
They might be listening to us because we are live on Facebook. So just say hi to some of them.
Honestly, I want to say hi to my colleagues at Pegasus. Believe me, I had a family there. Like they were colleagues from family. Like I was happy. I worked with Pegasus. I was happy. I spent time there. Yeah, that is the place I've spent. This is my working career. That is the place I've spent most of my time. Like I gave him up activities there, so I've not spent so much time like that in the establishment. So I am grateful I worked there, and I want to thank Mr. Jackson and.
Do you remember Mr. John? Mr. John. Mrs. Ian.
You don't remember. Mr. John, I'm coming. Let me start from the top.
Mrs. Monica Lewis. Mrs. Monica Lewis.
Let's wait. I remember her name. Mrs. Louis. I want to tell Mrs. Louis. Yeah, he, he's an innovative leader. He came there and transformed the UK. So he came there and transformed the school. Let us be right. So, but he came and transformed the school. On the sense with the theatre, with Tageto, ended by senior people, like either small people in small people. So Mr. John Adeyemi, my guy. So many of them, accountant, over, so many. I think almost everybody, you know, because they were more like a family, and I enjoyed working after that. So really, I enjoyed working. I just wish the welfare or the remuneration in better to reflect the economic realities in Nigeria.
Yeah.
If the remuneration will reflect the economic realities in Nigeria, nobody will be in a hurry to leave. Because that place is a good place to work. It will build you, build your work ethic, you know.
Yeah.
If you work in places, you can work anywhere all over the world. Really.
That's true.
If you work in places, you will be able to work anywhere all over the world. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. I'm grateful for all of them. Yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I do remember Mrs. Jackson, and I thank her so much. I thank everyone. Mrs. Siang, who was head of our department when we were there. Mrs. Pyongyang, I thank her. And Mr. Edwin Agedo, I thank him. I thank Mr. John Adeyemi as well. It was a great time. It was a great time there. And someday, of course, we'll have cause to bring at least one of them to Planeyo Book Circle. So for now, you know, one more issue, and then we move on to your book. When you were in Nigeria, I remember when we talked, you were talking about safety issues and how to get organized about it institutionally in Nigeria. You were trying to get some schools to take on safety courses and all of that, even approaching government. What do you think is the state of safety right now in Nigeria? And given the work you did, and what do you think still remains to be done in that area?
You mean in safety?
Yes.
Okay. I think Nigeria has a long way to go in health and safety. Nigeria has a long way to go. Although we are coming up, we've been able to achieve a lot. Currently, the Akwa Ibom government has even made it mandatory that every establishment must have a safety officer. And it's a great thing. It's now one of the things I and Osko.com we are doing at the University of Uyo. You know, when he created the Institute for the Health and Safety and Environment at the University of Uyo. So he held the idea to the government, you know, so that they can embrace it, send in government employees to the school to be trained, you know, on safety, on health and safety. Then, you know, then announcing other of their colleagues. So far, after the government is doing so well in that area, and Nigeria as a whole is also coming up, but there is still so much to do. Okay, comparing health and safety comparing Nigeria and the UK in terms of health and safety, there's a big gap. Trust me, there's a big gap. Okay, because here health and safety is now an integral part of every industry. When I mean every industry, anything called job, anything called work, anything at all, restaurant, anything, name it, there is health and safety. You understand? So when parents come to that stage, we have to, make health and safety the core. The thing is destroy, very easy to destroy. Okay? Accidents can happen when, it's very easy to destroy, but accidents can be prevented. So, for it's difficult to build, so when you have that idea of difficulty in building, you take steps seriously.
Okay.
And because these are not that to be destroyed in minutes to seconds. So that's why safety is very important. So Nigeria takes a long way to football. They are doing well too far. Okay, they are doing well institutions and all that. So the thing is, if the schools can start having clubs, okay, so that we start passing the message to the younger ones in secondary school and university, we start having safety clubs where they start making their awareness early enough. Okay, so that they grow with it. Okay, then we start doing policies that will enforce it and ensure that every institution, apart from the government institutions, even private sectors, they have health and safety officers, well trained and certified health and safety officers. So that would be a wrong thing. Okay, that would be so far. We are doing well. We have institutions in Nigeria that enforce training and carry out training safety training, and also have institutions that should enforce it. Not just training people, but we should have institutions that should enforce safety or health and safety in organizations.
Okay. So let me ask you: have you thought of writing a book on health and safety, or have you done one? Have you written one already?
I have a textbook on operational health and safety. I wrote a textbook when I was at the University of New York. I wrote a textbook on operational health and safety, and I wrote another one on economics. I have another one on economics, two textbooks, one on operational health and safety and one on economics. Because these are the subjects. I'm sorry, these are the topics I was teaching when I was at the University of New York. So,
Okay.
I was able to write a textbook there.
So where are the books? I've not seen any copy.
No, I didn't.
You only sent me the without flower. You didn't send me that one, right?
Yeah, I didn't show the copies of those ones. Yeah, because you're a literature man.
I'm not only a literature man, though. This man.
You're a literature man. So I guess the one that I know that this is your.
No, you underrate me when you said I'm I'm only a literature man.
I have some people. I think graduate.
Don't mind me, go on.
The thing is, I already those books. Those books, those books are the profession like for lecturing and all that. Like for students who are offering good, So I print them based on demand.
Okay.
So that's based on demand, yeah. So,
all right.
For the business power, it's easier to put things, and there are a lot of people who are using it. That's why I have too much of it.
Okay, so now let's just talk about the withered flower. I think it's an interesting work, and just so you know, there are some students from the Department of English Akwa State University, who are here to read the book alongside you today. So we will talk to them shortly after you've spoken about the book and everything. They will read and explain some part of the book. And so tell us about the motivation behind the vision behind writing The Withered Flower.
I know one would be wondering, someone who is into occupational health and safety and PPE and social care and health and all that, and well-being and all that, are writing a novel.
It's normal. It's normal. There's nothing strange about it.
The whole thing started when I was in secondary school. I was privileged to have a good teacher in secondary school.
Okay.
My teacher then had a PhD, particularly for English and literature. Yes. So he taught me the point that I didn't know, and I was able to write. And secondly, my dad is a writer too. He has written a couple of books. So this is what motivated me to put down Withered Flower. You know. So when I wrote the book, I became Withered Flower. You know, after watching over many years, a pattern being repeated in families around me. You know, and you see bright, capable, beautiful young women who were given every opportunity, like education, having household, and all that. And for reasons, as simple as pride, they let me opportunities like they refuse opportunities. Okay, so I was moved not by judgment of these women, but as I grieve for them. Okay, aspiration and has often been abundant and punishes with other hands. For instance, society celebrate a woman's independence and education, and then quietly, clearly calling her a failure, but the very same policy wants to reach a certain stage. These are the point.
Yeah.
Now, society celebrates a woman's education and independence and accomplishment, but on the other hand, they will quietly call her a failure because at a certain age, she didn't get married, she didn't have to. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I understand.
So the title itself comes from a line. Alright, let me say, I want to write about power. What happens to a person's character when they are given authority with no one left in their life? So, the book is about James, who wrote the managing director, and let me just focus story, okay? So, so we opened a university lecture hall, not with Jennifer, but with our best friend sister, and Jennifer's own reachability over the course of the study. Okay? So I wanted the little first impression of Jennifer to be through someone else's eyes and someone else's question. Okay? Because patience, sincere becomes one of the emotional anchors of the whole book. So then move backwards to learn who Jennifer is. Jennifer is the only daughter of William Jacob, raised in wealth and adored on every side. Okay, approached by tutors from the age of 16 and gently, repeatedly, her friends that beauty and opportunity do not wait forever. The novel follows through like eventually short. On one line, Jennifer turns away tutor after tutor.
Yeah.
Says and Mike, always with the same reasoning, there is time later, after school, after NYSC, after the next milestone, you know. On the second line, the men with the stars do not appear from the story. Rather, someone like Mike has broken and humiliated, find their interest, and what begins as comfort between two friends moves into a real and tender love. I wanted their courtship to end rather than convenient. This is why I let it unfold slowly in a guideline over an ordinary evening. So the meaning of the book shows the past cruel happening rather than suffering as she trains small tackles. First as a graduate, then as a bank director, and eventually as managing director. I attempt to sabotage her own brother's marriage to joy. I think the moment maybe it has stop defending their sympathy, you know. So her treatment of her staff, particularly the training to say, and with the good man that was looking eagerly to show how personal pride is yes, I get from accurate. Okay. So the son of the novel comes with Anderson, but that ability has advanced a little. So the Anderson was not student was not with him. Arriving to stay with her and the others after Kate had already narrowed her options, far more than she is willing to admit.
Yeah.
So his withdrawal of the proposal once he only raises concern about her age and her strange relationship with her own brother's family is the moment the flower to use the novel's own image finally with her in the full view of the reader. So I want to teach you something here.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I want to teach you something here. So, the Leader's Flower is a novel, like I was saying, about Jennifer. Okay? It's not, but it is not as if it's only about Jennifer. Okay? Yes. It's about the first arithmetic that many of us are taught to do with our life. Okay? The first had certain windows open and closed, that certain practice do not repeat themselves, and that pride, however well earned, and make us blind to the people trying to warn us. Okay? So I wrote the book to hold a mirror up, a very cultural moment and set of pressures, but I've watched readers across different backgrounds find themselves somewhere. So that's more than anything what tells me to do is end to do on the church. Someone has told me that I wrote a life story. You know? So that means story has 10 space on the shelf. So now I did not write this part in life, okay? And I did not write her to completely condemn either.
Yeah.
Okay? I want us to just keep in touch with comfort together because I think that is what we need to come of the novel need. Okay? Right. So let me continue. Okay, so let me take us to this point where I chose end the novel. I chose to end the novel not with punishment for its own sake, or with reflection. Okay? Jennifer's own recognition, however late, of everything her pride got her. Okay? I wanted the final note to be sorrow rather than triumph. Because I do not think Clear's self recognition when she finally is confident. Okay? And I think it has to be understood.
Yeah. So,
You can hear me, right?
yeah, I can hear you. You know, I think this work, this novel, The Withered Flower, you know, I suppose it tells us about the tendency for us, because for me, I look at this as a metaphor where we chase things that we think that are important, and then at the end of the day, we miss something that was more important than that thing we thought we were chasing. Apart from that metaphor, you know, that life is a quest, but sometimes we do miss the right object to chase in the quest. You know, it's a social reality now that, you know, people postpone marriage because of economic realities, especially in Nigeria. When you consider the facts of existence in Nigeria today economically, and it appears that people are justified to put off marriage until they are well positioned, given the responsibilities that usually go with marriage, like taking care of children, paying school fees, the upkeep, the rent is high, you know, everything. So it's really an important lesson, not only for the women, but for everybody, the male gender as well. But when you look at the realities on ground, what do you really think should be the middle ground? You know, especially when we live in a society where people think that marriage is compulsory. You know, what do you think should be the middle ground? Trying to handle economic realities and then the need to marry on time.
I want to. Yeah, I appreciate your question. I wish you have waited for me to complete my presentation. So, because the answer to that question is captured in my explanation.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you had concluded it. I didn't know. Sorry about that.
So I've you know, I have no problem. The thing is like you rightly said, the novel is more like a metaphor, you know. So what let me say what good rain really means. So I would like to spend a moment specifically on the title, because I think it's often misread on the first part as being only about people guilt. It's not about people guilt. It's about people guilt, yes. It's about people guilt, yes. But it's really a metaphor for three things at once: time, opportunity, and pride.
Okay.
So time. And the novel, the novel is deliberately structured around clock. If you read the novel, you find that it's structured around clocks, calendars, and ages. Jennifer is, first of all, Jennifer is 16 when tutors begin arriving. She's in her final year when she's called when she finally starts at small one. She's about 50 by the novel's end. So I wanted the reader to feel time accumulating the way Jennifer is receiving. Okay? The level of opportunity, if tutor dismisses, is not which one represents the become of the land might have had. Okay? Like Prince marries someone else almost immediately. Mike marries her own best friend, and nothing the last full opportunity is lost to another woman, but Jennifer's own history, because finally catching up. No, I'm trying to. I don't want it to look like it's about a woman who refuses to get married, or like the life of the woman should be about getting married and all that. It's much more than that. Okay, and the
Okay.
next one is pride. This one, this is the one I want everybody to understand. The waiting in this novel is not about something that happens to Jennifer by reference. It is something she participates in. Chapter after chapter, through her treatment of the very people who try to guide her, like her parents, her brother, her best friend, her sisters, and eventually her own self. The flower doesn't simply fade with age. It is left again and again from life. So it's not just about spiritual beauty and yes, that's not what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, in terms of marriage, you asked about timing, marriage and timing. So I have a scene here. One of the major themes of this novel is marriage, timing, and cultural expectation. So the novel puts inside the specific set of Nigerian cultural expectation around when and why a woman should marry. And I was careful to give voice more than one perspective on this right as simple doesn't it? Jennifer's parents represent the patient, loving version of this pressure. Her classmates represent a more urgent and also almost fighting version of it. So, warning Jennifer that certificate and career will not marry her, I did not want the book to simply agree with either voice. I wanted the reader to know them. Okay? Now, considering the economic situation and the timing of when somebody should get married and all that, it's relative. It's relative. From my own perspective, it's relative. Okay? One would say we all have our individual journey and we are all running our individual races. Okay? So you cannot compare yourself to someone else because you don't know what the person you don't know the person's plan. But the truth is this, there is this cultural expectation as Nigerians, okay, that you have to at some point in your life get married. Okay? Yes. It's like a cultural expectation and sometimes it becomes the kind of pressure. Okay? But the thing is, faith has a way of making provisions for you when you are intentional about doing certain or taking certain life decisions. Believe me, when you make a move, whether as a man or a woman, when you make a move and say, okay, I really want to do this now, faith has a way of making provisions. Yes, it's different. It's different from Jennifer because in Jennifer's case, there will opportunity and opportunity. So instead of defining them. But there are cases whereby some persons do not have possibility opportunity. You understand? So in that case, I compare the two of them. Because they don't have the opportunity this person have. So you have the opportunity to get married or be proposed to or you have to propose someone else, you do that because you don't have to you won't be thirsty forever, you will be thirsty forever, you won't be sick forever. Okay? Unless it's a personal decision that you don't want to marry at all, then it's fine. In as much as this trouble is not really about getting married and all that, it doesn't mean that your life will around the getting married and all that. Yeah, but then, as you say, it's metaphoric. So, but then, marriage is part of life. Okay? Marriage is part of life, and we cannot sit against it. It's structural. Okay? It's part of life, and it's cultural. So, we cannot overlook it. Okay, so they say anything not doing is not doing well. So if you know that you eventually get married, then do it when you can.
All right. So in the text, there's a point where Jennifer's mother gives her a piece of advice, right? I think it's on page 11. She says, in part, the beauty of a woman is like a flower which blossoms by day and withers by night. How does that fit into the thematics of the text? Both at the literal and metaphoric levels.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You know, the mother is so patient, became worried at some point when Jennifer left rejecting Jesus. You know, so she was trying to let her know that the kind of attention she's having now, okay, she will not continue, it will not continue like that for the rest of her life. There's a limit to it. So now related to a situation whereby as a young person, a young man, a young woman, okay, you have the opportunity to make songs that will lead you to a prosperous future, okay, and you're whiling away your time, thinking that you will be young forever, thinking that you will be like this forever, and time is going, and before you take the start of you know, or before you get that opportunity. Maybe your sponsor has been telling you to go pick up a skill that is responsible, and maybe you are playing around and something happens and your sponsor is not able to financially support you again. You know, so the message is like make her while the sun shines. I was just make her while the sun shines, because you was trying to let her know that yes, you're beautiful, okay. You're beautiful and you're blossoming now a lot before me, you are attractive. Okay, but it's not gonna stay like that for us. Just like a flower. I like to do that.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's just the thing. It's not just about a woman being beautiful.
Yeah.
You see, you can send to a whole lot. You can send to a whole lot. Like, you know, it could be an opportunity. Okay? It could be preparing for an opportunity. It could be taking advantage of an opportunity. Okay? Because it could be doing something when you should at the right time. No, it could be working against procrastination. Okay? So it has a couple of a lot of at that way.
Yeah, so that is true. We should the book should be understood at two levels. One, that's a book about marriage and timing, and two, most importantly, it's a book about how we can take advantage of opportunities that we have at the right time and not procrastinate and then miss those opportunities in life, right?
Okay.
So I would like you to read a portion of the text that impresses you most to the audience.
Okay, the portion is where. I'll have to say something because.
When you find it, just tell us the number of pages so that we can read along with you.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me open it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are still speaking to Dr. Jasper Berndo all the way from the United Kingdom. He's speaking to us about his book, The Without Flower, and he has told us that the book is not only about getting married early, but it's more importantly about taking advantage of the opportunities that present themselves to us in our life's journey. And so I think that's a proper way of reading the text at this moment. Dr. Jasper is back and is going to read a portion of the text for us.
So, open to page 26, the last paragraph of page 26.
Page 26. Page 26, the last paragraph of page 26. All right, sir, please go on.
I like that one. Cynthia, yes, one paragraph, yes. So Cynthia couldn't understand what was happening to her. She could only feel her passion for mine. She should have, at the thought of loving at first sight, but on the second thought, asked herself that this interesting part. This interesting part now. How many times are needed for genuine love to take place? So that returns question.
Yeah.
Is what I find very interesting. With this question, she justified her feelings and set her ego at peace. So that question.
Yeah, please.
So that passage, I find it very interesting because one of the things that is frustrating relationships, or one of the things that is making people not to really love and express their feelings to one another is ego.
Yeah.
And they feel if they love at first sight, they'll be seen as being cheap or something, you know. But Cynthia was able to ask how many times I needed for a genuine love to take place. She justified her feelings and she set her ego at stake. So they say that man has it's only people have been egoistic. Ego is what I feel is making a lot of people not to express how they feel with other persons. Like, you know, they don't maybe if you express your feelings to someone else, or if you accept someone's advances towards you, that makes you sick or whatever. I don't know. So, but I find that passage. I find that very. That paragraph. I find it very interesting.
Yeah, there's no doubt that there is love at first sight. But then we also have marriage counselors who have said that love is not the only thing that is needed in order for one to get married or get attached to a partner. So, if you subscribe to that view, what are those other things that should be in the mix in order for marriage to take place?
Actually, love is just one of it. Love is not the only thing that should be there for a marriage to take place. Okay, so there has to be some level of compatibility, intellectual compatibility, emotional compatibility. Okay, there has to be some kind of religious compatibility, or if you can say spiritual compatibility, however I want to call it. So there has to be financial stability. You can't take that away, believe me. You have to be doing something, you have to be working. Before God created Eve, he gave Adam a job. Adam was doing something at the time of Eve. He gave him an assignment. There was a place for Adam to create. There was something for Adam to do. Okay? Raise these animals, give them names and all that. You know, Adam was doing something before Eve came as a helpmate. So you have to be doing something before you talk about getting married, because marriage involves finance. Okay? So there's a lot of things, not just love. And then your character as a person, okay? your character as a person, you know. So there is not, love is just one of it, you know. Because believe me, there will be a time when that love begins to dwindle, and when the thing begins to wane, it is other factors that will now encourage you to rekindle the love to continue. Yes.
All right. Okay, so it's been great speaking with you. You are a creative writer. I would like you to give us some creative writing advice, so that if the young people listening to you want to write, they can learn from you. What does it take to write?
It takes, the first thing it takes determination. You have to be determined. You have to be disciplined. First of all, you have to be determined. Then you have to be disciplined. Because what I mean by discipline is, it takes discipline to sit down in a place with a pen and write, or maybe for like 2-3 hours. You can't get to look at your phone to watch movies, to do this, press the internet and all that. So you need discipline. Yeah. Then yeah. So you need discipline, and you need to take a goal for yourself.
Okay.
Take a goal for yourself and say, okay, I want to do this from this time to this time, and by this time I should achieve this result. If you don't have a set goal, you will not work towards achieving something. You just be procrastinating. That's true. Then the third one is, you have to look into the society. I would say read widely, listen to news, read anything, read other books, read other novels, so that you can get the insight on what's right. You have to, you don't have to declare what you really, you don't have to know the end of the story you're writing, but you need to have a clear vision of what the message wants to put across. Okay? So your objective has to be clear. Okay? Yeah, the objective has to be clear. Okay? So you have to be clear. Then you can now put down instead. To make it easier for you, you write them instead. Like we talk with, write them instead. Then you do your research. Don't just write. You have to research on what you want to write about. You have to do research on what you want to write about. Then put them instead of subheading. Then you start.
All right, sir. It has been a wonderful time with you discussing the withered flower, and I must thank you for your words and for your thoughts, and for sharing your experiences with us. We have been blessed by your messages, your words, and we now better understand this work, its meaning, and all the semantic front, and I think that will guide us in further reading the text. We wish you a happy time in the United Kingdom, and I hope to see you again whenever you come to Nigeria. My regards to everyone over there. So we'd like you to have give a final words. Yeah, give a final words to the audience, and then we are done.
All right. So I want to thank the audience for listening, and I want to thank Dr. Eyo for organizing this program, and I want to say, the audience, thank you for coming, thank you for listening, and get a copy of The Withered Flower from Planeyo publisher and read the book properly for yourself and understand what the book is all about.
Yes, I've said some students of the Department of English at Planeyo State University are here. They will read the book and talk about it. And I hope you stay on to hear what they have to say. But for now, I have to let you go, and so that I can take them on, because very soon we will have to bring this 10th edition of Planeyo Book Circle to an end. So enjoy the summer in the UK, in London in particular.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Have a blessed day. Bye. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Jasper Berendu, all the way from London, the UK, speaking to us here at Planeyo Book Circle. Planeyo Book Circle is the initiative of Planeyo Publishers, and this is the 10th edition of Planeyo Book Circle. We've been hosting this show consistently for the past 10 months. In the next 2 months, we'll be 1 year old. And I say, to God be the glory. God has been there for us, taking us all through both the good times and the bad times. And it calls for celebration that we are soon going to be 1 year old. And we'll follow up our discussion with Dr. Jasper Berendu on the Withered Flower by taking on about 3 students here from the Department of English at Planeyo State University who offered to read and discuss the book at very short notice. And I would like to take them on shortly. Of course, after listening to this message from Planeyo Publishers.
Are you looking for a place to have your quality printing done in Uyo? Look no further than Planeyo Publishers for your quality direct imaging printing. Our services include graphic design, photocopy, color photocopy, typing and printing, lamination, flexing poster, book publishing, wedding and burial programs, ID card printing, passport printing, photo enlargement. You can also make your gifts more valuable when you brand them. Let's brand your gift items and souvenirs. Visit Planeyo Publishers at number 2 Eka Street off Ikodepene Road, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, or call 0802-7898-705, 002-789-8705. Planeyo Publishers, publishing your dream works.
Thank you very much. We are still here at Planeyo Book Circle, the 10th edition of Planeyo Book Circle here at Planeyo Publishers, number 3 Street, Review. And of course, you're watching us live, and we have to reach out to Mr. Barnabas Dick, who says, well done, book lovers. Thank you, Ralph Sutton in Bright, who is watching, and he sent a message and said amazing. And then I have to also acknowledge the presence of Edith Nathaniel. Edith Nathaniel is a great book lover, a teacher, of course, and is watching Planeyo Book Circle live right now. And we want to further discuss the book by introducing one of the students of the Department of English at Planeyo State University. Welcome. What's your name?
Hi everyone, my name is Friday Uba.
So where are you from?
I'm a 300 level student of the Department of English and Literature Studies at Planeyo State University, Obiekpa campus.
Okay, so welcome to Planeyo Book Circle. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so let me ask you, how do you take your studies? How is the department? How is school generally?
Honestly, as a 300 level student of the English department, it's been taxing and very demanding, I must confess. Akwa Ibom State University is a prestigious university, and for a department of English requires a studious lifestyle which involves reading novels, reading text, series of text. So it's been texting, and thank God has been good and has given us the enablement to cope. I'm doing well, thank God, and my grades are good. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome. So, which part of the river flower would you like to read for us, and then we can discuss.
I love the chapter 2 of the.
Okay, so check it out and to read some portion. For context, this students on a very short notice volunteered to do this reading, and we are happy, we are glad we have Planeyo Book Circle that they are here. And so let's listen to what we have to say.
Okay, I'll be reading chapter 2 of this novel by the prolific writer Jasper Iberibe. So if you are there, please turn to chapter 2. So I begin with Jennifer Jacobs was the only daughter of Chief William Jackson, a business tycoon and a renowned politician. Jenny, as fondly called by friends and relatives, was an epitome of beauty. Her curvaceous and stupefied figure commanded the second gaze from both men and women. She walked with felling grace, added to her beauty with intelligence. She did well in her academics and spoke fluently too. She had all she wanted at her beck and call. As an only daughter, she was her father's pet, and her father made sure she lacked nothing. She had 2 brothers who also cherished her. Her mother had always adored her right from her death. What a lovely daughter. I wouldn't wish her for a better one. Madam Kate had always said in admiration of her daughter. However, Jennifer was obsessed with her beauty and father's wealth. She was so arrogant and insolent, and she treated people disdainfully. We dare not challenge her or question her actions. Not even a piece of advice from anybody appealing to her. Chief Williams Jacob and her wife started entertaining suitors who had come from their daughter's hand in marriage when she was 16 years old, then in JSS Street. The couple had always been tactful in dealing with them and had always emphasized that their daughter was too young to get married. Besides, she wanted her to finish her education, at least secondary school education. Then, if she likes, she can get married once in the university or after her university education. That depends on her, though, they had always stressed. After Jennifer's secondary education, her parents started allowing her suitors to meet her. She is now old enough to make her decisions on these issues, judging from her calculations and observations. So you can now go to her and make your proposal. Her parents had always addressed the numerous suitors who came to their house daily. Meanwhile, Chief Jacobs and his wife had earlier invited their daughter to their bedroom and advised her on the issues of marriage. We are happy to see so many suitors asking for your hand in marriage. It signifies that we are responsible people looking there for daughters. Marriage is a wonderful phenomenon and very interesting. But it all depends on your choice. Remember the proverb that says that as you make your bed, so you must lie on it. So, my dear, be wise, make the right choice, and live happily thereafter. Listen, we are not persuading you to marry now. Rather, we assume that you are old enough to take suitable decisions on marriage issues. Therefore, we deem it wise to call and advise you so that you don't make mistakes that will make your life miserable. The ball is in your court. It is either you choose now, when in the university, or immediately after your university education. Just know that we are solidly behind you in any right choice you make, Chief Jacob admonished. Yes, Dad, but Dad, Mom, I don't want to get married now. I still have a lot of time to enjoy my youth. Besides, I am beautiful. I will always get a rich and worthy man as my Mr. Right. Maybe after my NYSC program, I will. Jennifer was suddenly interrupted by her mother, who had been sitting close to her husband, listening to the whole conversation. but I've not said anything. Wait, my daughter, no wonder what plans you have. Also, have this at the back of mind that the beauty of a woman rather is like a flower which blossoms by day and withers by night. So, my dear, make sure you make hay while the sun shines. Dad and Mom, thanks for the advice. Anything else? I want to go to bed. She sounded nonchalantly. You are free to go, but think about what we have told you. Good night. Chief had concluded and turned to his wife, who was busy staring at her, her daughter in perplexity. Good night, Jennifer had replied and left the room. Darling, don't worry about her. Let's hope she doesn't make any mistake. Alright, come, let's go to bed. It's late. Chief Jacobs and his wife told insisting words. Now, this chapter 2 of my reading, I find this chapter 2 very admonishing because this was the time Chief Williams Jacobs and Madam Kate, that is Jennifer's parents, was admonishing her on how she should picture her life. I understand that she has so much zeal for education and she forgets that education comes with marital settlements. So she totally forgot the hope to get married and was so engrossed in her education, and she didn't yield to the advice of her parents. So I love the fact that she was forewarned but failed to take the correction or the advice given to her by her parents. And the end, we all know, the end was sad. So I love the fact that she was advised and she was disobedient, and then she saw the reward of her disobedience. Thank you.
Okay, so if we want to look at this this novelette as a didactic work of art, what are the lessons that we can take away from it?
I must commend the use of vocabulary in this work. Very rich in vocabulary. I learned so many new words from this book. The didactic aspect of this book is the fact that she was admonished. Even her classmates, Joy and Cynthia, Joy had this derived joy in always telling her that she shouldn't say no to her suitors at this stage. I don't mind. I know that Joy started accepting her suitors in her late 20s, but for her to have started the marriage plan early and Jennifer talking down on her, I don't think Jennifer has done something right in that aspect, because Joy admonished her. Even her friends were saying that she has been throwing her suitors around and she's not willing to accept anyone. Mike and Chris, Mike the civil engineer and Chris the medical doctor, these are good suitors that if she had listened to the father's advice, she would have kept one at least for herself. I know she's doing well, she's so engrossed in education, but she should have been responsible and attentive and agreeable to one, especially Chris, that she loved. And Mike had even been a medical doctor, kept time, keep coming to see her in university, and still she was just nonchalant. So I think this book is a didactic one that will teach others to be obedient to their parents, and also they shouldn't focus more on education, leaving marital settlements aside. These things are achievements. We all understand that that Jennifer, she was the manager of the bank PLC, the Treasures Bank PLC, and that's the largest community bank. And we shouldn't also forget that even being a manager, she was lagging behind in that aspect of her life. So the book teaches us to learn how to strike a balance between your personal life and your societal life. She wasn't social according to her workers at the bank. She was just this arrogant, nonchalant, egoistic, and the qualities to qualify her just so sad. So this book teaches you to understand your society. It doesn't tell you not to achieve your academic goals. It does. Obviously, she came out with the first class,
she was a serious student. Even Joy, our friend, and since Joy came out, there was Cynthia that came out with the second class, also is doing well. She had kids. Even though she was came out with the second class, she had a very good life working for her. But Jennifer, on the other hand, came out with first class, but her life, nothing was working aside from the fact that she was a manager on the back. Her family life, no. Societal life, nothing. No love, no family, nothing. So it was just so sad that the story ended that way. But I feel this book is very didactic in nature. Thank you very much.
All right, we are glad that you gave a very good presentation, and we'll have to take on another person to read the book, another reader to read the book. Let's introduce yourself and the portion you are reading, the page you are reading, and then spread up with explanations about it. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Emil Ogwanta. I'm a student of Bible State University, a 300 level student of English and Literary Studies.
Okay, so you tell us the portion you are reading, the page, and then straight up.
Okay, I really love this page, chapter 5. I really love chapter 5. And I read. Jennifer was glancing through her handouts in the classroom when Joy, a classmate, politely drew her attention. Please excuse me, Jenny. Can I see you for a moment? Yes. What is it? Well, as the class rep, I bring this card to you to help me officially inform the class that my wedding ceremony will be coming up next 2 weeks. Accompanying the card are some crates of soft drinks and 2 cartons of biscuits. Here too are cards for the class. Each card contains all the details they need to know about the wedding. Joy happily intimated her class rep, who suddenly developed a burning sensation of anger and jealousy at hearing the news. However, she managed to feign a smile. Congratulations, Joy. But if I may ask, why are almost all of you girls in the class getting married so quick? I mean, can't you wait till you graduate? Hey, Jennifer, I least expected such an odd and irrelevant question from you. You've just sounded like a novice. Don't you know that this is our final year in school? And that one should try as much as possible to get all that are obtainable when still in school before getting to the labor market, where there is much competition. Besides, a girl who got married in her final year in the university didn't do that so quick as you say, nor so late. A girl who is up to 20 years is eligible to marry, not to say anything of some of us who are clocking, not to say anything of some of us who are clocking 25. Don't you think we are old enough to get married? Listen, let me tell you, you don't need to wait till you get a certificate and secure a job before you get married, because out there in the labor market, there are a lot of beautiful ladies, more beautiful than you are, with first class honors. Some have their master's degrees, others have got their doctorate degrees, yet no husband. And some of these ladies were those who had numerous suitors in the past, especially when they were in school, but they contemptuously turned down their proposals. thinking that the world of men would always be at their feet, simply because they were beautiful and educated. They got too soft in the head to understand that the beauty of a woman is like a flower which flourishes by day and withers by night, and that their certificates will not marry them. As far as our society is concerned, the pride of a woman is her husband. So, my dear, don't fall a victim. Jennifer was astounded by what Joy just told her. It was as if the future had been revealed to her. She felt apprehensive of falling a victim, but quickly shrugged it off and brightened up. Wow, what an interesting lecture to have kept me here for the past 20 minutes. Well, I heard all you have said, but look, it can happen to any other girl, but mine will always be an exception. She concluded superciliously. I hope so for you, but meanwhile, let's inform the class of the good news before they disperse. Joy quickly said. They both called the students around to help them carry the incredible inside the classroom. At night, in her bed, Jennifer was lost in thoughts over her encounter with Joy. She shuddered with fear at the thought of being a victim of what Joy told her. But at the same time, she couldn't imagine herself getting married without her degree and a lucrative job. By the way, what will the man give to me that would be enough for my upkeep and maintenance? I need to be financially dependent too, because I will not tolerate any nonsense from any man or any so-called husband. In fact, these people should let me be. Every time marriage this, marriage that. Even if I'm the only beautiful girl around, can't I live my life the way I want? Is it my fault that I'm beautiful? In fact, I'm not getting married to anybody until I feel like doing so, and nobody can make me do otherwise, not even my parents. How can I, at this age, full of life and beauty, and with my status as the daughter of a famous politician, bigwig, descend so low as to take instructions from a mere man who calls himself my husband, and be a slave to him? God forbid. I would rather die a spinster than see such a thing happen to me. She thought aloud with fury and eventually stepped off. Okay, this chapter really opens us to how people's perspective are, especially concerning marriage. Jennifer, in her own view, she thought, okay, she thinks that life is all about achieving wealth, attending higher educational degrees, getting degrees, and then making or having a good life. But she never thought of marriage. Sometimes she keeps postponing marriage. Suitors come around proposing, but she turned them down. I think she, in this very chapter, she neglects the advice that was given to her by a classmate, Joy, and she even got angry over the fact that the girl invited the class of our wedding, our upcoming wedding. Then she thought everyone should just have the same view of marriage the way she has. And then she carried herself so much with pride. She could not strike a balance between superficial traits like wealth and education and career. She could not strike a balance between education, wealth, with virtues like humility, obedience, and other traits that could make someone move and that could keep someone going in life. She was not human at all. All what she did was to neglect advice both from classmates, parents, anyone that comes around her. She could not even take people as if they are human beings. So I see this chapter as a chapter that is very, 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 very didactic. Anyone reading this chapter can take moral lessons from this very chapter, because in life you don't just have to focus on the things, your choice, your decisions, when fate has it that one day you get married, one day that's nature, it's very natural, you get married as a woman, as a man, but the opportunity that comes, you turn them down, you neglect them just because you see yourself as a very famous person coming from a famous or a wealthy family, and you can't subject to another person's advice or take corrections from anyone, and you call them mere men, then it means that in life people don't need to take other people for granted. You don't need to take their corrections for granted. It also requires humility in terms of treating human beings, because we see it that even when she attained the heights she had ambition for, she also ended up tragically. Yes, she ended up tragically, that the things she said she wants to get, and before she finally gets into marriage, all those things she could not get them again. The marriage she needed after attaining a particular height and achieving her goals were not there anymore, and she almost lost herself out in depression, and she lost everything she had, including the company. She lost her mental health. She lost everything. So in life, we need to strike a balance between our ambition and the things that are so natural, the opportunities that comes to us, and also we need to carry ourselves with humility. We need to carry ourselves with humility. Yes, humility is very, very vital. It's one of the virtues that one needs to have as human being. So it's very, very didactic.
All right, thank you very much. We are glad that you read the work and then come to give a contribution even at short notice. I think done well, and we can actually see the book come alive in your reading and your explanation. Thank you so much. The next reader up, and then we are getting close to bring this to an end. Please tell us your name and the portion you are reading, and then you go on to do the explanation.
Good evening. I am Salvation Monday Matthew 300 level student from the Department of English and Literary Studies, Akwa State University. Okay, in the work, The Withered Flower, the chapter I love so much, which I'm going to read now, is chapter 14. And I start. Why the sudden nightfall when I thought the sun was about to rise? Can there be nightfall in the morning? Is it possible for a man to revoke his marriage proposals when all hopes of getting married have reached a climax? Maybe I may not know because I have never experienced such before. Instead, the reverse was the case, as I was always the one to disappoint, and not even the men who proposed to me. Now I see what these men suffered in my hands, especially Mike. Hey, what a heartbreak. Will they ever forgive me? Honestly, pride goes before a fall. The pride has come and gone. Now is the fall. May God have mercy on me. Jennifer burst into tears. She had been alone in her sitting room, soliloquizing as a result of what Anderson disclosed to her. Anderson had politely and tactfully revoked the marriage proposal, which left Jennifer heartbroken, devastated, and hopeless. All her efforts to make him change his mind were futile. She requested for the reasons that prompted the sudden change, but Anderson was not ready to let out the word about them. He simply cancelled the marriage plans. Jennifer could not endure the emotional trauma, especially when she read about Anderson's wedding in the newspapers, an occasion that had attracted the cream of the society. She went into coma and was hospitalized for several weeks. This really affected the bank, but then the management of the bank would go with her. Being a respected senior officer and a branch manager, the bank took care of her hospital bills and as well paid all her salaries and allowances. Though discharged from the hospital, Jennifer was no longer the same. She developed a severe mental disorder which was unknown to anyone. Her efforts toward piloting the affairs of the bank drastically dwindled. Madam is no longer the hardworking manager I used to know. She now comes to work very late and leaves before closure time. Deborah, a cashier in the bank, told Oge, the manager's secretary, on their way home from work. Oh, I thought I was the only one who noticed that. Oge began. That one is even minor. At times, she would mumble to herself like a mad person. Sometimes, when I ring our office to notify her of a visitor, she wouldn't answer. What do you do then? Deborah asked curiously. I would simply inform the visitor that she is very busy or that she is not even in the office, and the person would have to go. But I got the shock of my life when one of our esteemed customers wanted to see her. I rang our office as usual, but there was no response, so I decided to go in to see if she was actually in the office or not. Guess what? She asked, gazing at Deborah. What? I can't think of anything, she returned. Okay, I can't think of anything, she returned. I met her lying on the tiled floor, snoring. When I went closer and gently tapped her on the shoulder, she suddenly woke up and back at me like an angry dog. I didn't know when I ran out of our office. I was very frightened. What was the reaction of the customer waiting at the office? The man stood up immediately and was about to run with me, but he restrained himself. Still scared, he asked me what the problem was, but I politely led him out of the office, telling him that there was no problem. I never disclosed. There was no problem. I never disclosed this to anyone, and nobody knew about it. Hey, wonder shall never end. Please, let's hurry home. It's getting dark. Jennifer's abnormal behavior became conspicuous. It was no longer a secret. Both had work and home. She resorted to smoking and taking of alcoholic drinks even in the office. The staff in the bank took advantage of her mental illness to misbehave. Some came late to work while others did not come at all. There were a lot of discrepancies in the bank's accounts. Jennifer was approving and signing checks for funds on fraudulent requests by the staff of the bank. The chief accountant, on seeing the manager's signature, would have no choice but approve the release of the money. When the approval of funds for frivolities by the manager became unbearable, he, the chief accountant, confronted her, but she backed at him. Who are you to tell me what to do and what I shouldn't do? When have you become the manager? She then threw a glass of alcoholic wine which she was drinking when the accountant came in at his hand and he started bleeding. Okay, the one thing I love about this particular chapter is that this particular is like a kind of an epiphany. This is when this is the chapter that Jennifer comes to a sudden realization. And in this chapter, I am meant to understand something. I am meant to understand something, that life is not a level playground. There are some circumstances that favors maybe a particular gender, but it becomes a disadvantage to another one. So in this work, after Jennifer might have gone through some sort of heartbreak, now she realizes that okay, as the work unfolds, Anderson comes into the picture. Anderson now is also someone in his late 40s, maybe 47, while Jennifer is about 45. The two of them are actually getting close. Now the situation now is timing. Jennifer is someone, I wouldn't say Jennifer is, I wouldn't describe her character trait in the work as a bad one. She's just an ambitious lady who neglects something, an opportunity, and she ceases to use the time and prioritizes other things, her education and other things. So I'm going to understand something here. While Jennifer is someone who is at her late 40s or mid 40s, probably 45, and then Anderson, who comes into the picture now, is someone who is maybe 47. But the situation now doesn't permit Jennifer to actually maybe get married. Even as Anderson now picks interest, Anderson now wants to marry Jennifer. This is someone that actually comes into the picture with the intention of getting a loan from Treasure Bank. Then, after some acquaintances, he realizes that Jennifer, on the other hand, is still a person, even with all her wealth, that she's not married. Anderson, on the other hand, in London, he had been a victim of a circumstance. He got married to someone who got involved in drug abuse, and the marriage crashed abruptly. Now the plan is for Anderson to remarry. He wants to get another wife while in Nigeria. Even Anderson's parents, their expectation is that Anderson should get someone who is younger, not someone of Jennifer's age. Joy, who is Anderson's sister, when immediately she realizes that Anderson is planning to get married to someone who had already tried to put a stop to their marriage. She tried to stop Kenneth from marrying her. She now says no, that this is a thing that will not happen. So in this situation now, we see that life at times, while we are maybe trying to place things, that at times life doesn't favor a particular identity or a particular gender in some circumstances. So in this circumstance now, like I said, it's Jennifer now comes to a kind of a sudden realization, it's an awakening, an epiphany. Now she realizes that, oh, that even at this age now, that someone who is even older than her, the person who intended to marry her, doesn't want this thing to happen again. Because why? One, she had a bad record that she tried to stop her sister from getting his sister rather from getting married to her own sister, which is Kenneth. Now the another thing is that she's old. Even when immediately the mother and Anderson's mother hears this, and her reply is like, oh, that this person is someone who is already getting to menopause if she's not already there. So in life, like I said, life is not a balanced playground. Some situation permits a particular gender or puts a particular gender in a disadvantage while placing others in the contrast. So now Jennifer now comes to a sudden realization that everything is not the way she thought they were. And at the same time, initially, like I said before, Jennifer, on the other hand, she's just a victim of the circumstance, because from the time she was in secondary school, the parents now, they place her in this kind of a strict lifestyle, which is she focuses more on her education. She prioritizes this. And one thing I like about her is like she's ambitious, and this shows in her academic. She comes out with the first class, and she even gets a work at one of the as it is described in this work, one of the largest bank in the nation, which is Treasure Bank PLC. And this is one thing that she ever wanted. Jennifer, from the start, she took her study very serious, and she had this in mind that she wants to come out best. She wants to be the best in whatever she does. And even when she had achieved this, one thing stands out: an opportunity she had left, opportunity she had missed. In the case of James, who came in, the case of Mike, who came in the picture, and she never gave interest in all these people and told them that she want to focus, she want to be the best, that she would only get married after after her service, her NYSC service. She keep giving excuses and prioritize her education, and then this comes up. Now she has gotten the achievement. She's wealthy. She has everything, but she forgot that the saying, there is a repeated proverb. There are some repeated proverbs like two of them in the world. We say that one should do what? Should make hay while the sun shines. And another one is another proverb that depicts the situation, the lesson in this work is the proverb that a woman's beauty is like a flower that blossoms at night and withers at day. So this Jennifer now has suddenly become the victim of a situation, of her own situation. She's she's now the flower that has withered. So that is one thing I love about this chapter.
All right, thank you very much. I'm impressed by your ability to read the book on such a short notice, and then to read fluently and make insightful comments. Thank you very much. And Love, do you want to make a comment on what you read? Please come so that we can round off. So you just introduce yourself and then you make your reading. Thank you very much. This is Love, the Secretary of Planeyo Bookset.
Good day, everyone. It's nice to be here once again. I've listened to the readings and the discussions done by the students of Akwa State University. And well, I don't have much to say, but I would like to, let's say, critique some characters in this story. For instance, the character of Joy. From the story, we have that Joy was Jennifer's friend, and the fact that she did not consent to being married at an early age, and the fact that she was trying to talk her out of marriage shouldn't have given her that, should I say, the heart to discourage his own brother from marrying Jennifer. Of course, these two, if you read chapters 13 and 14, these two liked each other. They were okay for each other. Only for Joy, who is Anderson's sister, to talk his brother out of the marriage. So that means that she doesn't have that heart to forgive. Also, from the story, the writer keeps talking about people and professionals who have come to meet Jennifer for marriage. Now, nothing has been talked about their background, if they meet up with I don't know her criteria. Maybe he's just looking at how wealthy these suitors are. Well, the book is a nice one, and it is worth reading. It's worth reading so that we can learn some lessons from it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, love. Joy is actually Jennifer's classmate, but this half Jennifer's friend is actually Cynthia in the text. Well, we could just say because of classmates, but I don't think that really qualifies friendship anyway. And yes, the author, I think we've had so much on this book. The author made a statement as to the fact that the book should be understood at more than one level of meaning. First of all, the idea of early marriage for the woman, and then generally for the individual to get his act together and make sure there are no missed opportunities, because opportunities do come, but they have their own timing, and so it should be taken in life when it's only at the right time, because when the time passes by, such opportunities might never come again. So those are at least two levels that we can understand the work as explained by the author. But of course, we are not limited by what the author says. We are able to also draw our own meanings from the work, and I'm grateful to the students of the Department of English who come along to read and discuss the work or explain the portions that I've read. And what impressed me most is the fact that they were given the work just a day or so ago, and then they completed it and then met some insightful reading. And I am grateful to everyone who has been here with us, beginning with Love with all the secretary, Planeyo Book Circle, and the students of the Department of English, Private State University. I thank the author, the two authors who were with us today. We are talking about Dr. Clifford Stephen, the author of The 21st Century Preacher and Teacher, and Do You Understand What You Are Reading, published by Planeyo Publishers. And I'm grateful to Dr. Jasper Eberendo. Today was mostly for doctors. Dr. Jasper Eberendo stays currently in London, and where he teaches, and I thank him for finding out time to reach out to speak to us on this work. From all of us here at Planeyo Book Circle, I'm grateful to even those who watch online: Barnabas, Dick, Ralph, Sutton, and Bright, Edith Nathaniel, and the other persons that who I've observed watching, reacting online, including Cornelius Umoren, Amy Dion, Mayaki Joseph, Dr. Mayaki Joseph, all the way from the United States of America watching us. And then we have Zenith B. Benjamin, Victor Paul Uno. We have Zigal Jack, thank you so very much. Benedict Erudite, Nimfon Peter is watching us. Moses Young is watching. Emmanuel Rudo, Jonielo Atar, thank you so much. I saw when you were watching. And I'm grateful to Victoria Idio, who was watching. Salvation Matthew, one of the readers here, of course. Nick Rocket, Zikan Macaulay, and Abel Peter. Is always beautiful when we meet here at the Planeyo Book Circle, because of course we are all book lovers, and book lovers will gather here at Planeyo Book Circle to read and comment on what we are. And this brings us to the end of our 10th edition. And I said, to God be the glory for taking us this far, because as I've said, in the next 2 months, they're going to be 1 year old. As a book club in Rio, no one would have believed that we would go so far. But God is always merciful, He's always wonderful, He's always there to support those who believe in Him. And of course, here at Planeyo Book Circle, we're all children of God. And so that's how we bring Planeyo Book Circle to a close today. We'll meet again in August for the 11th edition of Planeyo Book Circle. So thank you very much. Have a very beautiful, beautiful day.